here we are for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, I just did this arrangement about half an hour ago, so it's still a little bit new, and so it's up to a little bit of adaptation from you guys. Now, I'm going to show you a left hand and fingering and what fingers that I'm going to use for now for plucking with the right hand, but there's a lot more kind of freedom in this piece than there have been in other pieces that I've taught in this kind of solo style. The basic idea is it's going to be using a kind of an alternating thumb technique, like one of the pieces on the solo blues one, I can't remember which, the Craggy Island Blues I think it was called, from my Solo Blues 2 DVD. So it's kind of similar to that. Plug! So if you've checked that out, you'll be kind of familiar with this concept. Now, I'm going to take it in little 4-bar chunks, and I'm going to show you what's going on for either hand in little close-ups for each one. But like I said, if you don't want to use exactly the same left hand fingering or the same fingers to pluck the strings with, then that's kind of your call. Feel free to kind of experiment and feel, work out what's good for you. Basically it's got this kind of an A structure, which means there's kind of an A section, which is a certain melody, which is then repeated, and it's got a slightly different ending. You'll see on the sheet music that it's got what's called a first time and a second time bar. So kind of the first time through you'd play bars 7 and 8 one way, and then the second time through you'd play them a slightly different way, going into the B section, which is also 8 bars long. And then again you play the A section with a slightly different ending on it again, which would become the kind of the outro, if you like. So that's the basic structure of it. It's definitely one that you want to go to the website and download the PDF file for this, the sheet music. Just trying to do it without the sheet music in front of you is going to be quite hard. I would recommend the use of the old red pen, or any color except black pen, to write on the music the fingering that you decide that you're going to use for it, because I think that would be advantageous. It would make it a lot easier for you to learn the tune. So without any further ado, let's get in and have a look at the left hand fingering for bars 1 to 4. Howdy ho! There are 2 options for fingering this bars 1 to 4 for this. Now, I prefer using my 3rd and 4th fingers. Here, 3rd finger on the thicker string, 3rd fret, little finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Now, the little finger has to move between the 2nd string and the thinnest string. So if you're not very comfortable using your little finger to move like that while your 3rd finger stays, you might find it easier to use your 2nd and 3rd fingers and move that finger that way. It's really up to you. I prefer this fingering. It makes some things a little easier later on, but it really doesn't make a big deal of difference, so it's up to you to decide. So watch the little finger moving between the 2 different strings, and like I said, check out the tab, because that's the thing that's going to make it easier. So here we go for bars 1 to 4, nice and slow. Important here to get the 1st finger down and little finger, so you can go to here, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret thinnest string, 1st finger going over, 2nd fret, then you've got to reach out with your little finger to play that, and then you're playing the open A string. So that last part's a little tricky, but you could shift your whole hand if you want, release that top note. Won't sound quite as nice, but it's quite playable. Again. Okay, let's go and have a look at the right hand. The right hand picking for bars 1 to 4, and in fact most of this piece, involves the thumb playing strings 6, 5 and 4, and fingers 1, 2 and 3 taking care of the thinnest 3 strings. Now the trick that you want to try and get together for this is noticing when strings are played together or separately. So you can see there the thumb's doing quite a lot of work moving around between different notes on the bass. I'll do that one more time. Just take it really slowly like that, this sort of speed. When you're learning it, just doing it at this speed is the way to go. Making sure that you get it right at each step rather than trying to rush into it. Remember, you can change the right hand fingering to suit yourself as well. Okay, let's move on to 5 to 8.